Welcome back, I'm Captain Xavier, and I am in the process of packing for an HvZ, specifically the Grove City College HvZ on April 1st, 2023. Yeah, it's on April Fool's Day. I'm sure the mods are going to have way too much fun with that. It is also Monty Python themed, so it's going to be silly, and I'm looking forward to that. I am going with a slightly lighter loadout than I have in the past. Then, of course, lighter is very, very relative because it's me we're talking about. But there are a couple of considerations that I need to take into account that has resulted in me changing a few things out. First of all, there is something like a 60% chance of rain. And so I am bringing my Springer backups, which I usually do anyway, just in case. I have my Orange Modworks Hammershot and an Orange Modworks Elite Alpha Trooper. I have used these in HvZs for many years. They are solid, they are sound, they are reliable, and they work in the rain. The other consideration is that Grove City likes to use special zombies that require special ammo types. And so I have my radioactive Mega Hammershot, which will fit in my holsters, and I have a Meeker 28 for rockets, because the last time at least they had 3 tiers: regular ammo, Mega, and rockets. So I should have all of my bases covered in the event that we run into something nasty. It should be good. And then I have my standard heavy blaster, my FDL-3, semi-automatic FDL-3, and my proton pack, which will be mounted to the FDL-3. I also have the option of running the proton pack with the Alpha Trooper if I want to, not mounted to it, but as a sidearm, should I feel the need. But odds are, if I'm not using the FDL-3, I also won't be using the proton pack for obvious risk of it getting shorted out or damaged in the rain. So that's the blaster options. For magazines, I'm bringing 13 22-round worker mags because my vest will hold 12 and then 1 in the blaster. Both of these take full-length darts, so that's what I'll be using. I'm not taking anything that uses half-darts, so I don't have to worry with half-dart magazines or half-darts because I'm not bringing my pew-pews to this one on account of the risk of rain. It's just not worth it to me, and because I need my legs free for special ammo types. So that is the plan for blasters. Let's take a look at equipment. So for my belt, I will be running a medium battle belt that I recently put together. I need to do a video on that at some point, as well as my 3D printed solid Hammershot holsters, because I am running 2 different Hammershots and they will both work in here. The battle belt does have half-dart magazines, but I'm not going to be running any, but it also does have a pair of folding dump pouches, so that is nice. Should work. It will actually be the first time I've run it, so we'll find out how well it works. For my vest, I will of course be running my orange tack vest, which is the one I use for HvZs because it's brightly colored. A lot of people have asked me, where did I get an orange tack vest? And unfortunately, I have no idea. I got it on the internet before the pandemic, and I have not been able to find it since. So it's entirely possible that it no longer exists or is no longer available. But it does have room for 12 full-size magazines, a lot more half-dart magazines if I wanted. It also does have room for some half-darts here, though I tend to put other gizmos in there. It does have a camelback as well as a radio pouch. I will be bringing my Baofeng radio, which has throat mic and all that fancy jazz there. Sling, radio, button. There's the vest. For my proton pack, I finally managed to get my hands on an orange and black variant of this particular tactical backpack, which is the one that the proton pack was kind of designed around. It fits in there beautifully. I could actually get a much larger tank in here if I wanted to. I can actually put a whole second one of the tank that the proton pack defaults with inside it, so just have a whole tub of just a full reload of ammunition, but I'd have to swap it over. Or I could custom build a larger tank, which I might do for a different one. I do like this one that's that size because I know it's going to work train, because it's the one that Out of Darts built it around. I don't have any worries about it having leaks or anything like that, so and it's more than enough ammunition because I don't use the proton pack until really the very end when it's really just there to hose the horde for the sake of hosing the horde. I got it on eBay. It's NEX pack, NEX pack. I managed to find them. They also have one that, they come in pretty much any color imaginable. If you saw the Deplorable Mark II, Deplorable has one in blue, lots of different colors, but I finally found one that was orange and black and matched the orange of my vest fairly well. My vest is getting a little worn at this point. I've been using it for years. A note on checking your equipment. Be sure to actually test all of your equipment before you go. Now, this won't tell you that it won't fail, because it's entirely possible that you just stopped testing right before it failed. It's always possible that it could fail. But you might find something that already has failed. For instance, when I went to load ammo into here, I put a bunch of green ammo in, because I like using green ammo for HvZ, because zombie darts were green. And I noticed there were some beetles crawling in the darts, and so I was worried that I might have poured a beetle in and it might cause a jam, so I poured it all back out and took a look inside and found this stick had jammed in the hose port right at the base of the proton pack and was jammed with this round. And had I not pulled the ammo out to test, I would not have known until I went to fire the blaster, and it wouldn't feed at all because it would have jammed this twig in there. So it's the downside of doing a lot of my shooting in a forest. Twigs tend to end up in my ammo, and if I don't check it closely enough, I can end up with jams. So check your equipment. So there's the proton pack for this trip. For final random gear that's going to be going with me, I already mentioned my radio. We use Baofangs. I'll have a multi-tool, a screwdriver, Sharpie, sunscreen, definitely a good idea. 2 sets of eye pro in, just to have extra. One of the Franz Foamworks wands. This should have been down under blasters, but I'm planning to bring the wand just because it's hilarious and I like it. Lipo charger, fruit snacks, and a shamag for keeping the sweat off my neck. Also, GoPro mount, because I'm actually hoping to get some decent footage this year. I keep saying that. Someday it might actually happen. And then, of course, the lipos for the 2 blasters that take batteries. So, yeah. It's a lot of stuff. Then, of course, my boots, my pants, my shirt, my bandana, all of that stuff. But, yeah, that's what I bring. And it will all be going into this trunk, which hardshell trunk. Already got the magazines in it. It's got my logos on it, and it is the exact maximum dimensions for checked luggage before it becomes oversized luggage. So I think you get 162 linear inches, something like that. And the dimensions of this are exactly that. I'm pretty sure it was, in fact, designed that way so that you could have the maximum size trunk and not have to pay for oversized luggage. And since my first check luggage is free, I don't have to pay to transport it, and it's easily identifiable by the logos on it. I also do have a padlock for it. I don't put it on when I'm traveling because they'd have to, cut it open to get in. But at events, it's sometimes nice to be able to lock your equipment when you've got, a couple $1,000s worth of blasters in it. So yeah, it should all fit. It has before, and should be under the maximum limit, which is 50 pounds. I would shudder to think that I'm carrying 50 pounds of gear, but I probably am getting close to it. I'm an old man, I'm gonna break myself. So here we go. I'm gonna load it all in here, see if it all fits, and then weigh it, and then go pack socks and stuff and get ready to go. Here we go. Alright, I got it all in there and got it to close nicely. Now we can check the weight on my bow scale here. And we are coming in at 43 pounds, well under the 50 pound limit. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind. Get everything in there. Any batteries or anything that contains a battery cannot go in your checked luggage. It has to go in carry-on. Your lipos, your radio's battery, anything that has a battery needs to go in carry-on. You cannot put it in your checked luggage. It can cause a catastrophic failure of the battery, and that would be bad. So be aware of that. So have something you can safely carry your lipos and all of that in with your carry-on. So there you have it. There's my loadout and my gear for this HvZ. I will have a slightly different loadout for UMBC because I will also be partaking in the competitive and possibly the Nerf war, and hopefully the weather will be a little bit better, and they don't have super zombies that require special ammo, so I will have different loadouts for that. So stay tuned for that one. By the time you see this video, I will already be home from this event, and I'll be able to tell you how it goes, so stay tuned for that video as well. Thank you for watching. Oh God, I'm an old man.